So someone asked me a long time ago to make a video about INTP, um, our struggles with human emotions, relationships, and how to improve on this topic when we lack empathy. Um, how to improve when we lack empathy. And I thought it was a very interesting topic and a very interesting idea. Um, So, first of all, I want to define what empathy is. I think it's something that everyone knows, but here it is. So, I don't think that we lack empathy. It's more of I can relate with someone's problems, but do I care? It's something different, I think. Not caring is not doesn't necessarily mean that I don't understand them or that I don't think that they're valid or that I can't connect with that person. It just means sometimes that I may not care, which happens a lot. um, but I think we are great problem solvers in a way, and it's not just with the weird stereotype of mathematics and physics and puzzles and all that. I think human puzzles are very interesting, and that's one of the reasons why I'm in psychology. It's because I want to solve humans in a way. I want to solve their puzzles. To make this more or less clear, I'm not in psychology because I want to help people. I don't mind doing it, of course. It's something good, of course, to help someone in need. I'm in psychology more to understand their brains and how they think and how they make problems and how I can solve them than actually helping them. Helping them will be secondary in a way. I will help them because I will be understand them better. That's the only thing. So helping them will come more of a consequence than the very reason to why I am in psychology. Um, so our problem with human emotions, I can understand. I think with more or less accuracy when someone is annoyed or angry or upset. I can understand that very well, I think. Um, what I don't seem to understand well is that person annoyed because of me? Did I do something? Because I don't sometimes, I guess I do things and I say things that people take offense on, and I don't particularly understand how. I don't understand. Um, It's like being in a conversation and not expecting, and in a debate, when you're trading ideas and trading views and opinions, and the other person expecting that you will share every single one of your opinions with them, which is nonsense. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a debate, it would be just a casual conversation. No, what makes a debate is this trade of counter arguments and arguments. If this doesn't exist, no, it's not a debate. Um, And I think I have a small problem with being able to understand when someone is angry at me. And I'm always like, when someone is angry and I can say, and I can see that that person is angry at something, the first thing I think is that person angry at me? And it's not because I particularly think that I did anything. Sometimes I do, but not there has to be a reason, of course, behind it. Like, again, in a debate or something, or if we traded any kind of idea that may have hurt the person. And most of the times I don't understand why they are hurt. What was it that I said that hurt them so much or so little? Um, so I guess I have this small problem of understanding why someone is angry. Um, I can see that they are. I can see that very well, I guess. But I don't understand with me. Was it me? Did I do something? And I don't think it's like lack of self-esteem. I don't think it's that at all. I don't understand it. Simply, it's especially because sometimes when people are angry, they don't particularly tell you with what they are angry about. That comes later, if like in a burst of emotion explosion. They tell you, oh, you did this like a week ago, or you said this when we were talking about something, and I'm okay, that may make sense depending on what I said and how and when and about what and where and in the context of the conversation, but I don't know, people are weird sometimes. I don't seem to understand them very well, which is ironic because I'm studying psychology. Maybe I will when I finish my degree, and when I start actually seeing patients, because at least I will know with more or less accuracy, 99% of accuracy, that the person that I'm seeing is not angry at me, is angry at something else, or sad at something else, or annoyed at something else, which is okay as long as it's not with me. I don't care. I will care, but not now. Um, so this is one of the problems I have with human emotions, I guess. Well, I have more, like how they control people more than they control them, but that's another thing. Um, the second one was the struggles with relationships. I've heard, I don't, and I've read, I don't know where, I don't remember if it was on YouTube or if it was in any other forum, that INTPs can be able of having a friend for years and not particularly feeling not affection, but with not particularly feeling anything special for that person. Like that person can just like move to another country, and I wouldn't be particularly sad about it. I would be okay. And I think that's why INTPs and INTJs um, are seen as such cold types. Because I don't understand like how people, for example, in funerals cry. I understand that someone died, but most of those people are Christians. Like, don't they believe that there's an afterlife and when the person is actually infinitely better than they were on Earth? I don't understand. Are they jealous that it wasn't them, so they aren't infinitely better? I don't understand. I think it's in those times that the belief of the people collapses and rationality takes over. It's finite, and I think people understand that. They may try to deny it, and they may try to hide it from themselves when everything seems okay. But in times of crisis, I think rationality wins over them, and that's why they cry in funerals, because they understand that they will not see that person again, or the chance of that happening is low, very low, since there is no evidence that they will. That's just wishful thinking. Um, and I think that's why they cry. But I've asked this before, like, aren't you a Christian? Isn't there an afterlife, in your opinion? Isn't this person in heaven now? Then what are you crying about? And this is where they get upset and angry at me and start saying, how can you say that? Like, I'm just explaining to you your own belief. Isn't like, I don't know, like, I don't do this with any second intentions, and I don't do this, of course, anymore. I did that maybe once to um, with a minor detail to try to understand why, because if there's something better than why, um, and people get all emotional about it and they start um, to get upset, and I don't want that, not just for their own sake, but for my own sake. Um, so that's kind of a problem with human emotions, I guess. With relationships, And relationships too, because of course you can't really have a strong relationship if you do stuff like this. So don't ask people why they cry on funerals. They don't seem to like it. um, by the way, I think I cried like once when I was a kid on a funeral, and that's it. I think that was it. So, and the continuation of the question was, how can you improve um, the struggles with human emotion and with the relationships when you lack empathy, being an INTP? And I think I've answered more or less that in the beginning, that I don't think I lack empathy. I can feel someone else's pain. I may not understand why they are in pain. I think it's different. I understand when someone is sad, and I can feel in a way that the sadness of the person, as long as it makes sense. If you are crying, like I said, in a funeral, and I know that you believe in an afterlife, I'm not going to feel your pain because I don't understand where you are getting it from. Isn't there an heaven in those people's minds? Then what are you crying about? This person is infinitely better now, isn't there, according to your own belief? Then I don't understand. I can feel, and I think I am particularly susceptible to injustice. I think that's one of the things that kind of triggers me more than particularly sadness. If I see injustice, then I will feel it in a way, um, strongly. But so I need it has to be logical. It has to have a reason for it. It can't just be someone crying and then me approaching them and they saying I don't know what I'm crying about. That I will not be able to feel that pain. Just seeing someone cry and then not um them not giving me valid reasons for it is absurd. I don't understand it. And I will probably think that there's something wrong with that person. It's not, I will not think probably that something happened to that person. I will think that that person has something wrong in them. Why are you crying for no reason? That has to be a reason for you to be sad. I think it's only logical, yes. Um, Otherwise, why are you crying about if there is no point? Um, so I think this is one of the struggles, not with no with the improvement. I'm kind of forgetting about the improvement. Um, I don't know, like try to pay attention to people. People like when other people pay attention to them, and you can see that when someone is telling a story, for example, or trying to make a point. They look at you, and if they see that you are looking around or looking at your phone or at your watch, or that you are a lot more interested in something else, they will feel um, being like they're being ignored, and it sucks being ignored. Everybody knows that. So if you want to be able to help people more and to feel what they are saying, you have to pay attention, of course. So pay attention when someone is telling something that you see that may be important for them, even if it's not particularly important for you. Try to pay attention to it. It's just kind of a dick move to not do that. It's wasting your time and that person's time. Um, be reasonable with the other person. If you really want to help that person that is crying, for example, or sad about something, if you are an INTP, then use your TI. Like, help that person with logic. Tell them what they should or shouldn't do according to your opinion. Tell them this is the best thing to do, this is the most logical thing. Forget this even if it's emotionally attached. If it's hurting you, forget it, let it go. This is something I think reasonable to do, and something that would help people in the long run. That is, for example, people get upset about pretty much anything that they can attach themselves on or to, as unreasonable as things can be, like people pretty much imagine that your cat has a sickness and the medicine for the cat is like $200. It's getting really expensive because, of course, as the cat gets older, it's going to increase in costs, of course, because more medicine is going to be needed, more treatment, and all of that. And the cat is really old, like really old, it's about to die. It's just a matter of time, and you know it. Um, Tell that person something like, if you really like this animal, and if you already gave this animal a long life, it's time now to do what's right for the animal and do what's right for you. Like, kill the animal. Put it down, like, deliver this animal to an institution that gives euthanasia, like, free of pain, free of suffering. That will help the animal now that it has lived a long life. It's going to be painless for the animal, it's going to be better for you. You're going to stop wasting so much time and money on something that is now kind of ruining your life. This is a very simple example, of course. Many people's problems are not this simple. But this is just an example of objectivity and rationality. Sometimes people's emotions get in front of what is necessary to do. And this is where you, as an INTP, can help. Because being that you are an outsider in this particular case, in this emotion of the cat, because the cat is not yours. So you are in a privileged position to make arguments about it. Since it's not yours, you can actually tell them how to do it. So, I don't know, like use your objectivity and your intelligence to improve if you lack empathy, which I said before, I don't think I do. So, I think that's it. Struggling with human emotions, which is something that I kind of do sometimes. I don't know, try to be careful with what you say. We do this, I think, by default, about thinking about our words before speaking them loudly. So try to not ask them why they cry on funerals like I did. And try to be nice. INTPs know how to be nice, really nice. So use that, I guess. And I don't know, just in general, don't be a dick.